Are you surprised at all that he, for a minute, seemed to be really into Bitcoin, had it on the balance sheet, seems to have moved away from that? Peter Thiel has also moved away from it. What's your take on Elon specifically and Bitcoin?
Well, there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, right? There's 100 different industries, and there's a lot of dynamic questions, right? So solving the problem of space travel, and solving the problem of electric cars, and solving the problem of satellites, and solving the problem of government efficiency, and solving the problem of free speech, and solving the problem of digital capital, and solving the problem of digital currency, and solving the problem of war, and solving the problem of medicine, and solving the problem of health, and solving the problem of overregulation, and solving the problem of overbearing capital markets, and solving the problem of climate, and solving the problem of fill in the blank. I could go on for another 100 problems. That's a lot of problems. I think this administration has the greatest number of problem solvers we've ever seen. I think that Elon is the number one sponsor of Bitcoin and the Magnificent Seven. I mean, if you look at it, right, take the top 7 companies in the world. Okay, which one has Bitcoin on the balance sheet? Tesla, right? So truthfully, Elon is the leader in understanding digital capital, on the base. Tesla has Bitcoin, SpaceX has Bitcoin. So I think Elon's been a great advocate, but so is Vivek, Ramaswamy, and so is I think David Sachs understands this, and I think the Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, and Atkins, the head of the SEC, and Trump, both Donald Trump and Eric Trump, and Howard Lutnick, the head of commerce. So I think that you've got a lot of people that understand it. I think if you're parsing people's words and saying, did they say the perfect exact thing? Like I don't talk about the other 99 things. I don't utter my opinions on health and vaccines and foreign policy and the like, because you might not exactly parse your words correctly, or there might be someone that spent 100x as much time as you that's a bit more nuanced. So I think it's inevitable that when you are asked to opine on 100 subjects, you'll occasionally say, you'll communicate with a precision that leaves you open to criticism from someone, but I don't really get worked up over it. I think that we've got a good team right now, and I think that they understand the need for digital transformation, for innovation, and they will pursue it as effectively and as rapidly as they can, subject to the constraints of God and man.
So, at the risk of getting you to comment on something that you don't have enough time looking at, as you look at the first, call it 18 months of the Trump presidency, what to you would just be an unbelievable win if they actually got across the finish line? And whether that's dumping gold and buying or getting in place a strategic reserve of Bitcoin, or simply making a statement about we're never going to sell, what would a real victory look like in the first 18 months?
I think a digital assets framework will be a huge win. It'll bring the entire digital assets industry to life, and it'll
And is that from
catalyze
an
the
SEC
crypto.
perspective? Like, hey, here's exactly what you can and can't do?
I think if they have a digital assets framework, that's a big milestone. If they put in place a much lighter regulatory environment, if they remove a bunch of crippling, overbearing regulations that prevent entrepreneurial activity, that make it very difficult for companies to do anything, I think that would be a big win. And and then beyond that, avoid placing a crushing burden on the capital markets, or on free markets, so that people can move about and fix the problems in the world. I think that all of those things are quite possible. They'd all be good in the first 18 months. They'd be great for the world.
And what do you think is going to be the intersection of AI and Bitcoin specifically?
AI represents digital intelligence. It's going to go into every product, every service, every company, everything. It's going to permeate everything in the economy. The result is they're going to be very valuable companies. And I think those companies, as they get more valuable, are going to buy Bitcoin. I think AI is going to fuel the capital market. So it's going to create lots of capital, lots of productivity. And I think that will flow into Bitcoin. And I think long term, the AIs will want to move money at a much faster speed. They'll want programmable, high frequency money, and that'll be Bitcoin. And so I think that the growth of AI systems will result in demand for digital capital directly from the AIs and indirectly from the companies that create the capital. I think it'll drive both of those. And that would
Makes
be my
sense.
first order and second order impact. There are some other possible things that could happen with AI, but they're more speculative. And I think those first two things are the things that drive multi-trillion-dollar impact on the capital markets.
I love it. Michael, every time I get a chance to either research you or spend time with you, it is absolutely mind-blowing how many more pieces of the economic system I begin to put together. Where can people follow along with you, learn more about what you're up to?
I post everything every day on X, Saylor, Saylor. And so if you want to follow me on Saylor. And otherwise, we collect a bunch of Bitcoin materials on hope.com, HOPE. And my personal website is michael.com. And I post a lot of my personal speeches on that, just michael.com. So those are the three logical resources if anybody wants to follow me or look at anything that I've posted.
Excellent. All right, everybody. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe. And until next time, my friends, be legendary. Take care. Peace. If you like this conversation, check out this episode to learn more.